Good evening. The Armstrong School District Board of Directors regular meeting of November 13th, 2017 is about to begin. If you would stand with us for a moment of reflection, followed by the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Burdell, Mr. Chauncey,
Here.
Mr. Close,
Here.
Ms. Loeb, Dr. Lobby,
Here.
Mr. Mulroy,
Here.
Mr. Rarick, Mr. Scaife,
Here.
Ms. Walker.
Here.
The Board of School Directors of Armstrong School District convened an executive session on Monday, November 13th at 7:00 p.m. in the Faculty Lounge of West Hills Intermediate School in Catani for discussion of personnel.
Additional reports this evening? Student board rep report? Nothing in it. Student board representatives this evening, you can go ahead and whatever turn you want to go in for your reports, just go to the podium or whatever order you want to go in, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
For West Hills Intermediate, we have Veterans Day Assembly was a great success. Approximately 185 guests attended. The guest speakers were Calvin Bowser and Brandon Petras. They were excellent messages. Parent Math Night presentation is Thursday, November 16th. Tutoring has been underway 2 days per week for math and reading and is strongly attended. The PTO meeting was on is tomorrow, November 14th. On October 27th, the district magistrate Gary DeComo presented a new edition of Drugs Kill Dream program. The jazz band grades 6 through 8 is starting. The first quarter has ended. Conferences have been held with parents. The Health and Wellness Club started in November. It's one morning per week. About 30 students are participating. 9 students participated in Songfest. It's a workshop, rehearsal, and concert. Raising Readers After School Title I program has completed 2 of 3 sessions. On October 27th, SAD Club presented and ran activity groups for the West Hills Intermediate in honor of Red Ribbon Week. On November 4th, the West Hills Intermediate and West Hills Primary PTO conducted the Fall Festival and a color run. It was a huge success. The Stuco, which is an informal club, has had 3 projects so far: a bottle cap collection, and there were 60,880 collected so far for veterans. Material and caps can be recycled for use in plastic engineering and development for prosthetics. 268 Center for Veterans. We have collected toiletries and personal care materials. Walkathon for hurricane victims raised $1,500. Positive behavior support program has been highly successful. Lesson plans, teaching of positive behavior, review of data and rewards. Check out the board at the end of the hall near the gym. For West Hills Primary, the Wizard Basketball Game Assembly on October 16th, the 3rd grade ELF program on October 18th, parent-teacher conferences, high school band performance at West Hills Intermediate Soccer Field was on October 23rd, Red Ribbon Week was from October 23rd through October 27th, Apple Crunch Day activities were on October 24th, Halloween parties were on Halloween, October 31st, PBIS winners had lunch in the large group room with Mrs. Berry for each grade level, and the Veterans Day Boot Camp was on November 9th.
Certainly a lot to report on there.
Now for Lenape. Lenape raised over $2,100 for the Salvation Army hurricane relief efforts. Mr. Hooks kissed a goat for the cause, apparently. Veterans Day assemblies are on Monday the 13th at 9:30 and 1:30 with the students and staff collecting various items to be given to veterans here and overseas. Mr. Hedgelin has received his baby trout for the Release the Trout program he does each year, and they have begun their Quarters for Christmas campaign to help communities, families in need at the Christmas time. Now for Armstrong Junior Senior High. Our girls volleyball team made WIPUL runner-ups and state quarterfinals, which is pretty far. We held a breakfast for the veterans and also an assembly, which the breakfast I think I don't remember how many there were, but there was a good turnout, and the assembly, it was a really powerful assembly. It made I saw a lot of students crying. There was the Drugs Kill Dreams assembly with Mr. DeComo. Leo Club Riverhawk Revenue collected donations for Orphans of the Storm. Now for some sports. Nick Benvenuti won golf sectionals. Adam Sipple qualified for regionals. And the boys golf team overall placed second in the Whippeals in their section. The girls tennis doubles, Lauren Verostic and Ashley Bowser qualified for Whippeals semifinals. I know the band's playing and the chorus is singing this Friday at Light Up Night in Katanning. It's November 17th, and it's at 5 p.m. Mr. Riverhawk is sponsored by the sophomore class this year, and that is on November 29th. The craft show is sponsored by the junior class, and that's on December 2nd. The band concert is December 20th, and the chorus concert is December 7th, and that is for both the junior and senior high. The junior high play is December 5th, and it's called Jingle Bells Jury. Winter sports start Friday, November 17th, and our Quiz Bowl and Math League have been exceptional for the past couple of years, but this year especially we've been very good. So that's all we have.
I did talk with a veteran, and he said that was one of the best Veteran Day celebrations that they had, that he can remember. He said he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was a lot of people, like, the breakfast was really nice. NHS held the breakfast for them, and I just heard, like, a lot of them were talking about it, and I just heard them all being really thankful, and it was just nice to give back. It felt nice. So.
All right, thank you. So you were good on reports, nothing additional from last week?
Next week, or next month, we'll have the student growth and achievement presentation that we do every year.
Public comments on agenda items this evening?
It's your last chance, Doug.
I'll entertain motion and second for approval of the minutes from the open caucus session of October 5th and the regular meeting of October 9th.
So moved.
Mr. Mulroy, Ms. Walker. Roll call, please.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skate?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Close?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 6. Number voting no, 0. 3 absent. Motion carries.
Entertain motion and second for bills category, food service fund for October, capital projects fund for October, athletic fund for September, and the presentation of the regular bills for payment for October. Mr. Mulroy, you have a second? Dr. Lobby. Any additional questions on the bills in those four categories? Roll call, please. Linda.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skate?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Close?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 6. Number voting no, 0. 3 absent. Motion carries.
Personnel items discussed in executive session 1 through 16, with the exception of personnel 3, 4, 8, and 9, which are for information only. Motion and second for approval of those. Mr. Skate. Second, Dr. Lobby. Roll call, please.
Mr. Skate?
Abstain on per 5 and vote yes on all the rest.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Close?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
1 abstention on per 5. The remainder of the items, number voting yes, 6. Number voting no, 0. 3 absent. Motion carries.
Motion and second for one education item.
I'll move.
Ms. Walker, have a second?
Second.
Mr. Mulroy. Roll call, please.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Close?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skate?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 6. Number voting no, 0. 3 absent. Motion carries.
Business items 1, 2, and 3. Get a motion and second for approval of those 3 business items. Mr. Skate, second. Mr. Mulroy. Any additional things to add, or is there a discussion from last week or questions from the board? Roll call, please.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Close?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skate?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 6. Number voting no, 0. 3 absent. Motion carries.
3 change orders under construction items, 1, 2, and 3. Motion and second for those approvals.
So moved.
Mr. Mulroy, Ms. Walker. Any additional questions on those change orders from last week? Roll call, please.
Mr. Close?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skate?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 6. Number voting no, 0. 3 absent. Motion carries.
Student transportation services, 2 items, approval of list of bus drivers and bus transportation contract. Motion and second. Dr. Lobby, of a second. Mr. Skate. Any additional questions on the 2 items? Roll call, please, Lena.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skate?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Close?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 6. Number voting no, 0. 3 absent. Motion carries.
And policy items 1 through 4. Motion and second for those. Mr. Skate, of a second. Ms. Walker. Any other questions? Our solicitor through these last week. Roll call, please.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skate?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Close?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 6. Number voting no, 0. 3 absent. Motion carries.
Anything under informational folder this evening?
There's retirement letters, some newspaper articles. Other than that, I'd just like to formally give a shout out and thanks to all 3 of our board members who are outgoing this evening and who have served the board 5.5 years. I think Mr. Rarick served the board 10 years, and Joe, believe it or not, 16. It's hard to believe. I was fortunate enough to work with you for about 8 of those years. We certainly understand that it's a thankless job, and we thank your family as well, because he probably never talked about school stuff at home. No, I didn't think, he always told me he was able to separate that. We know of all the time, effort, and energy we spend over the years, especially in good times and bad, that we seem to go through from time to time here. Things are in a very good place. We know that you always work towards the betterment for the students of the Armstrong School District, and we certainly appreciate that. And you probably don't hear about all the good things that you're part of enough. So I'm here to tell you the district is in a much better place than it was 16 years ago. So thank you very much for all that.
I want to thank everybody that I've worked with through those 16 years. We discussed, about kind of the things we went through. I want to thank Chris and Jim. There was a time when there was just the 3 of us here, and not the 3 of us, but 3 that were think the way the entire board does now. So, and we stuck it out and waited until we garnered the board that we did, and just the luck of the way everything kind of turned out, and we were able to forge ahead with the plan. And we had the good direction, good support, people that guided us through it all, got it together, made it all work out. I was really glad when the other board members joined the board that were supportive of us, and seemed to have been a turning point, and we were able to shift gears and get going in the direction that we had hoped to go, and where we're at today. I think we're going to be a lot better into the future here forward. Administrative staff, we have a great staff here. Our teaching staff, can't say enough good about. It keeps everything going, and it was great to have been a part of it. Sometimes it was with everything going on in everybody's lives, even being a board member, what we did here would have been a lot nicer to get out to more events that the school was putting on, be a little more visible in the buildings sometimes. But time restraints and jobs, you just don't get to do that. But there's different circumstances. I would have liked to have did a little more of that. But it was went fast, and it's really hard to imagine. You say 16 years, it doesn't sound like too much, but when you realize that somebody started kindergarten and graduated in the amount of time that we sat on this board, it gives you a little more of a realization of how the time goes so fast. But appreciated working with everybody and doing what we did. good luck in the future. I'd like to say I'm gonna come back and come to a lot of meetings and stuff, but, I doubt that will happen. I will follow it though, but, I think I'll be able to separate it, but, it's all good. Happy to have been here.
Keep in touch.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Joe. I appreciate it. Thank you, Linda. Linda, just want to say, you jumped right in. You were a representative with Aaron and Lenape and the school board here, and I really appreciate that. And Joe, you've been a mentor to me when I came in 10 years ago. We had a lot of tough times, but, you know, I think we've had a lot of great times too, and the direction we're in right now makes it all worthwhile. And so I really just appreciate how dedicated you were, and your commitment to this district was really admirable. You know, I think, you know, the public should really recognize that, because it's been fantastic 16 years you've served on the board, so thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, motion and second for adjournment. Ms. Walker, Mr. Mulroy. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.